Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're dialing in and calling in from here online. This is Joe Garcia. I'm here with Mr. Dan Catto. We are founders of NHT Global, as most of you know. I'd like to welcome all of you. Happy New Year. Dan, you want to just wish everyone a Happy New Year?
Happy New Year, everyone.
Very good. We are truly excited about what's going to go on here with NHT Global in 2016. It's been an incredible 2015. I am truly excited, and I'm going to just start off here introducing my business partner, Dan Catto. For those of you who don't know Dan, Dan is a legend in this industry, 25 plus years in this industry. It's been written in many publications all around the world. Dan has traveled to more than 60, 70 countries, over 1 million people that he has trained and seen him live. So, Mr. Dan Catto, I'll turn the presentation over to you.
Hey, Joey, I appreciate that introduction. You and I go back a long ways, and a lot of these miles and our journey um, that we've shared together, especially here with NHT in the last 15 years, we've done side by side, town by town, city by city, country by country, certainly over the last 15 years, and for me in this industry for 28 years as of this year. Actually, I think I'm going to be in my 29th year with this incredible industry. And Joey, for yourself, I guess now 23, 24 years. So, gang, it really is a pleasure to be on here with you this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are in this world. We've got so much to share with you right now. Um, Joe, again, I just want to make sure my audio is nice and clear, real clean.
Yes, definitely.
Great, appreciate that. Thanks. So, as I'm sharing with all of you, Joe and I could be on here for the next several days talking about NHT, where we've been, where we are. Most importantly, I believe where we're going, especially for the group that's on with us now, from the inner circle to the leadership that we have in all of our markets and our countries around the world. There is just so much in front of us. But I really believe it's important for us to never forget where we came from. And I'd like to just very briefly here tell you what I've seen, but most importantly, what I see. So what I've seen over the last 15 years, going back to when we had that very first presentation, that first product introduction back in 2001 when we kicked off NHT Global, and what has happened and how we've evolved, but most importantly, where we are today and the programs, the incentives, the products, the markets, the promotions, the events, everything that we have in front of us. Joey and I are going to be sharing with you. And at the conclusion of today's call, you're going to hear about an incentive and promotion that Joe and I have put together that, as far as we're concerned, the most aggressive incentive promotion and give back that we've ever done in our career, our history together, working together, but certainly as leaders for our teams, as partners for our people. We're very excited about it. So at the conclusion of the call, we will be announcing that. Joe, both of us will be. So we're excited for all of you with that, and we want to be a part of that incentive promotion, and you'll hear more about that at the end of the call. But, just in reflection here, I got started in this industry back, for a lot of you, you're aware, back in 1988, when I was living with my parents on government assistance, losing virtually everything after a 10-year corporate career, losing my wife. She left me. I was losing my health. I was starting my life all over again, and that's when I got involved with this industry and learned so much through the industry, through a couple of other companies that I was able to gain so much knowledge, experience, and get so much from until we found this incredible opportunity in 2001. Joe and myself in the field, and we worked very closely with the corporate team, which was very small at that time. We only had that one product, which was Allura. It was under another name at that time. And we had our first presentation in Toronto, Canada. We had our first event in Las Vegas just a few weeks later, and we had several hundred people at that event. But what has happened over the last 15 years? Gang, it's staggering what we've done. For just about all of you that are on this call, what we've done over the last 15 years. You've done your due diligence if you're very new to NHT, and that's why you're with us. Or if you're listening to this call for the first time, you're getting maybe some information that's just about is so hard for you to comprehend or believe because of the growth that we've gone through. And again, us being as solid a company as we are, one, being 15 years old, two, that we're publicly traded, and publicly traded on one of the strongest stock exchanges that we have in the world today. But not just that, the growth that we've gone through from a stock standpoint, the strength that we have, the resources that we have today, the muscle that we have today, the financial resources that we have today, and the leverage that we have today to do so much of what we want to do to take this company to $1 billion in annualized sales, which is really the goal and the mission of our president from NHT, Chris Sharn. And just a year ago, Joe, you and I know we were talking to Chris about this when he did his presentation. It was a year and a half ago in Hawaii when I was with Chris, and he talked about his 5-year plan to get to $1 billion in annualized sales. Now, NHT has done $1 billion in sales, but that's over the last 15 years. So much of our growth has come in the last 5 or 6 years. We have been able to navigate through the choppy waters of this incredible industry around the world into the uncharted territories and markets that you have, like the emerging markets. We've been able to withstand every type of challenge, issue, everything, and not just survive them, but thrive through them to bring us to where we are today. So, gang, as you know, we're in multiple markets around the world, in the Orient, the Far East, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, North America. We've got incredible plans to break into bigger markets in the coming year. Over the next 12 months, you'll be seeing us. We should be in 2, if not 3, of the largest emerging markets in the world today. I'm not going to share with you exactly what those countries are, but we've basically got the infrastructure in place now to be into those markets in 2016. And I don't have to tell you which markets those are. You can figure that out for yourself. The size of these markets, but with the industry the way it's going today, direct marketing, network marketing, e-commerce, and what we're doing around the world, there's not a market country that we can't get into and penetrate and maximize because of our business model. If you take a look at what we've done right now in the Far East, particularly in China, Hong Kong, all of the Far East, and the credibility and the strength that we have, it's incredible. You know, our e-commerce model is being taught at 3 of the top universities in China, Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shanghai. The 3 top universities in the Far East are teaching our e-commerce model to their MBA course, nothing to do with NHT. This is all through the universities, and they're saying that we are the next Apple, we are the next Coca-Cola. They're branding us as the next Nike. So from a branding standpoint, it's a powerful move and where we are today, but especially what we can see in 2016. We have new products that we're going to bring in 2016. Now remember, the products that we've brought to the marketplace today, 2 of them have got Nobel Prize winning research behind it. We released new products in Hong Kong 4 months ago at our 8,000 attended event in Hong Kong, a product that increases the size of a man's penis by up to 30% and more, increasing a woman's bust size by 1 to 2 cups. Those products by Nobel Prize winning research OBGYN Dr. Ronald Thompson, introduced in the Orient. They went crazy. We're introducing those 2 products throughout the rest of our markets later this year and the early part of 2016. So not just those products, but other products that Joe and I are very close to, that we're very aware of and a part of what's going to be coming to the NHT marketplace. Not just in our existing markets, but our new markets as we go into them. So we'll have new products, we'll have new countries, we'll certainly have new markets that we're going into, and we're going to have new millionaires. Joe, you and I went to Hawaii together. Now it's hard for us to both be at an event at the same time. You and I probably just one event a year just because of the scale of our business and the number of events that we've got that are going on every year. But you know, 4 years ago when we were in Hawaii with our global ambassador getaway with Chris Sharn and corporate, we had just 4 global ambassadors that were attended that event. You know who they were? There was Molly, or you and I, and you know, through the 4 of us that were there, Chris was talking about the growth of where we were going to go as far as the next new ambassador wave that was going to be coming on. You were in Hawaii just a few months ago, and we had 40 new ambassadors at that event that we had in Hawaii. We're going to have double that and triple that over the coming 2 years and 3 years because of the growth that we're going through. Chris had talked about us getting to $1 billion in annualized business in the next 5 years, and that was a year and a half ago. Joey, I see that in the next 2 to 3 years, maybe less. So with all of that, what we've done, Joe, you and I certainly have done this with an incredible team of leadership. You know, from the great Garth to Thomas to Dalibor in Eastern and Western Europe, to Sonia in Ireland and Helen in Sweden that's just come on last year. Elena, the great Elena, and Ina, and Nadezhda, and Lubov, and Larissa in Russia. We've got to reach out to Tamara, Farida, Zana in Kazakhstan, and all of what they've done in that part of the world. And the great Young Yoon in South Korea, who will probably be the youngest global ambassador in the history of the company. He's just in his early 20s, and he's just ripping it up in South Korea. To Francis and Andreas and Jamie here in North America. To my good friend Bruce down in Mexico, and Arun now in India, one of the bigger markets that we've got that's going to be happening in 2016. Joe, we've got all of this incredible support around the world. And for all of these people, for all of our leadership, for all of our teams, there is just so much that we have in front of us. We have got this Hong Kong event. And gang, if you're not aware of this, our event that we're going to have August 6th, 7th, and 8th, you want to get this into your planner now, pardon me, August 13th and 14th of this year. Remember, we had just about 8,000 people at our Hong Kong event just a few months ago. We will have 15,000 people at our Hong Kong event August 13th and 14th. We have events in Europe, Eastern and Western. We're going to have events in South Korea, all throughout the Far East. We've got events in North America. Joe and I have got events and meetings and trainings and incentives that are going to be going on in all of our markets in 2016. This will be the most aggressive roadshow that we've ever had in our history. So with all of these events that we have that are going on, with all of these incentives and promotions, you've got to keep in mind your focus. Joe, I know you're going to be talking about that just in what you want to share with everyone, but I have kept my focus as far as us going forward every day and what I need to do from a leadership standpoint to if I was just getting started today in the business. There's 3 things that you really want to be focusing on, and that's number 1, driving rank. Whatever rank you're at now, your focus should be the next rank. Number 2, you want to be building your rank, building your organization, building your teams through the platinum packages. And number 3, focus on qualifying for the next major incentive. Gang, we have got major incentives that have been announced already for the Far East, Eastern Europe, Western Europe. The North American incentive is going to be announced the early part of next week. So we've got incentives and promotions by NHT that have been the strongest and most aggressive incentives and promotions that I've ever seen in our 15-year history. Now, for most of the markets, they've been launched and announced just in the last few days. The North American one is coming up in the next few days. The major event that we have that's coming up this year, as I shared with you, is going to be in Hong Kong. But from Sweden to Ireland to Eastern Europe, from Russia to Kazakhstan to South Korea to all throughout the Far East and into those emerging markets that we will be in officially in 2016, we have got major events that are coming up that are happening that Joe and I will be a part of with you as we build with you your teams and your organizations through 2016. We have also got, as Joe and I have been sharing with you and kind of teasing with you, we've got this incentive and promotion that we want to, that personally, that we've put together, that we want to bring to you, that we're going to share with you at the conclusion of this call, that we're very, very excited about. So, Joe, again, there's just so much in front of us, so much more what we can discuss and talk about. I know there's a lot that you want to share with everyone as well. But gang, just in leaving it from my side, know where you want to be in 2016. I want to really thank everyone for helping us in what we've done over the last 15 years. But all of what we do in life is about going forward. And, I've always believed that looking at where you want to be ultimately, beginning with the end in mind. But it's those little simple daily focuses that you would have and where you want to go. From what I just shared with you, in bigger picture, where you want to be at the end of 2016, where do you want to be, in the next 3 to 4 to 5 years? But bringing that down to the very simple steps that you want to take in going forward, and focusing on the next rank. If you're at rank 1, your focus should be rank 2. If you're at 3, getting to 4. And if you're at 5, getting to 6. And ultimately, you want to be at rank 9, which is global ambassador, from the bigger picture standpoint, and that's where you're ultimately, financially, you're a millionaire here with NHT. But Joe, I've always said, it's not so much what you achieve in terms of that goal, it's what you become in pursuit of what you want to achieve. And it's the kind of person that you become, the kind of distributor, the kind of leader, the kind of parent that you ultimately become, and friend and neighbor and leader that you have in your community. So there's so much that you get in terms of your growth and personal growth and pursuit of what you're chasing and pursuing, which is such an ultimate, beautiful dream and goal that we have here with NHT. So drive, rank, build through the platinum packages, and really focus on qualifying for the next major incentive and promotion that we have here with NHT. So, gang, with that, I'm going to turn it over to my buddy, my partner, Joe. He's got lots to share with you as well. And I'll come back and wrap up with you here at conclusion of our webinar. So, Joey, over to you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. Just a quick question. Over the years, one of the challenges that people have is to maintain their focus. And I don't know anybody around the world that we've spent time with, our mentors in the past, et cetera, that have more focus or ability to focus more than you. Can you just share with the people out there, what do you do to maintain your focus?
Well, it's a great question, Joey, and comment, really. I've been able to surround myself as I've evolved in this business, in this industry, and I know you have. And by the way, gang, there's no one who exercises better focus and discipline than the Mr. Joe Garcia. I remember, Joey, there was a time that you were doing a conference call and you had a family member literally fall off a ladder, and I understand he broke his back, and you were on the conference call, mid-call, and you continued through the call while your family was trying to pull you off the call, but you continued forcing through the call, and you just said you knew that those people would step up, and they did, and they helped out. But I think it was your uncle that fell off a ladder, but it's not funny. But just the focus that you have is really incredible. I believe, gang, what Joe and I have learned over the years is the right people that we've been able to surround ourselves with and listen to. And it's probably the single biggest thing that changed my life 28 years ago, is I really changed who I was listening to, who I was really listening to and taking action on what they shared with me. Those people, from my original mentor, Jeff Roberti, to a lot of my personal coaches that I've had over the years, in watching what they do and exercising their disciplines and their focus. If you're hungry enough, if what you want, if what you really want is stronger than all of the distractions, all of the excuses, all of the challenges, all of the obstacles, every grenade that's going to be thrown at you, if what you want is stronger than that stuff that's going to come at you, you'll have it, you'll get it, you'll achieve it, you'll experience it, you will ultimately be there. But it comes down to that desire and really knowing what you want. Is this, your pursuit, your chase that you have here with NHT, what you want for your family, for yourself, whatever it is, it has got to be stronger than all of that stuff that comes at you, because it will come at you, regardless of what endeavor you're in. If you're an athlete, if you're in the corporate world, if you were becoming a surgeon, if you're a parent, probably the greatest mentoring program of all time is being a parent and doing what you need to do for your children. All of those things have got to be stronger than the obstacles, the challenges that you'll encounter. So, Joe, for me, 28 years ago, I was just in such a destitute place because I was living with my parents on government assistance, and I was just so embarrassed and disgusted with where I was. My desire was so strong. I knew where I wanted to go. I found out the little simple things that I had to do every day, and that was sharing the product, sharing the opportunity. I had my action activity goals. That was critical. Action goals. How many people I needed to talk to, how many presentations I needed to do, how many home presentations, how many golds I had to bring into the business, how many platinums I'd have to bring into the business. And it was, nothing was going to stop me. And I just did what I had to do. And I believe I'm just a part way through that incredible journey, even though I've been here 28 years in this industry and now 15 here with you with NHT. It's those little things that we do every day in terms of focus and knowing exactly what we want is really what's helped me.
Great, Dan. This perfect segue into what I'm going to be talking about. Well, guys, just to reiterate what Dan was just sharing, I'm a student of the industry of network marketing, and when I look at all the billion-dollar companies out there, billion-dollar annual companies, and you hear, as Dan was sharing with you, our CEO Chris Sharn, who's the most conservative guy in the world, who publicly has shared on his previous conference calls that on our run rate that we've had in 2014 and 15, we will be $1 billion annual company in the next 3 to 4 years. Let's put this in perspective, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, there is probably about 15 companies that are doing over $1 billion annually in network marketing. The industry is exploding globally. And hopefully all of you know, we don't have the time to get into that, why it's exploding globally. And a lot of it has to do with the internet and the way we can communicate faster, quicker, better than at any time in the history of mankind. But if you study those companies, and many of you have heard me say this, you study those companies, their top distributors did not get involved in the beginning. Dan and I are the only distributors that signed up in the first year of NHT Global that are still here today. And most of those people that signed up with us in the first year are sharing with Dan and I that we were lucky now. That we're lucky that we stuck it out. That it had nothing to do with luck. It had all to do with vision. So if you study those companies and you see their top earning distributors, many of them have passed away. Many of them have passed their incomes down to their kids and grandkids. Here in my hometown, I know a couple, it's actually grandkids of a company, of their grandfather built a business in Sunrider, and now they're earning $40,000 a month from their dad's grandfather's work 25 years ago that he started that business, and now passed away, and the income's now passed down to their grandkids. So this is the kind of legacy that Dan and I want to create and are creating here in NHT Global. But if you look at those companies, they got involved. Those top earning distributors got involved when those companies were on the way to $1 billion annually. But those companies were doing anywhere from $100 to $400 million annually a year. And they rode the wave to $1 billion and more. Here in NHT Global, that's where we are right now. We'll probably end the year at 350, possibly closer to 400. We'll be in the top 40 of network marketing, maybe top 50 network marketing direct sales companies, and probably one of the youngest companies in that list. So I want to just put that perspective out for everybody. There was a time to work a business, to take advantage of timing, to work the hardest that you've ever worked before. It's the next 2 to 3 years, because you can and will, if you take advantage of this, create a legacy for your families, not just in your generation now, but the next few generations. This is what we're talking about. It's not hype, ladies and gentlemen. Just go out and take a look at NHTC and you see the numbers that we're having in Asia. We're launching in Malaysia in the next quarter. We've just launched in Singapore. We've got some great announcements coming up with South America and India, going to be not launching here in 2016, most likely. So exciting things are happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you in the next 10 minutes, because everyone comes to Dan and I and say, Joe, how can I have a better year in 2015, in 2016 over 2015? How can I do more volume? How can I get to that next level? So ladies and gentlemen, what I've always learned to do is I learned to study what I was focused on, what my predominant thoughts were focused on. So if you want to change your life, you got to start with your thoughts. And I give you a little formula. Many of you have heard this many times in on our training calls, but thoughts become feelings. And these feelings create the habits that you have on an everyday basis. And these habits end up giving you results. If you want to change your results, you want to start changing your thoughts, what you're focused on. And what I've done in the past, and I'm doing it again starting yesterday, is I've gone on what I call these 10-day mental diets. What you want to do is you want to train your mind to focus on what you want on a consistent basis. So what you do is you start from day one, and you want to stay focused for that entire 10 days. So if you catch yourself for more than 30 seconds thinking about something that you don't want, some negativities in your life, you're going to have to start all over again from day one. And believe me, it takes discipline to do this. But if you get through those 10 days and you help yourself focus on what you want through those 10 days, you're going to create these incredible feelings, which are going to create these incredible habits, which will determine your results. You know, garbage in, garbage out, as Janet had shared with you. So it's important that you start with your thoughts. So how can you manage your thoughts? Well, I just give you the tool, 10-day mental diet. The other way that you can manage your thoughts, and because we got these thousands of thoughts, and we're habit creatures, and we've been on this earth for 30, 40, 50 years. We tend to think in a certain way all the time because of just habit. For those of you who go to church, and every Sunday morning you'll see the same people at the same pew. They never change because we're creatures of habit. So one of the things I've also learned to do is I've recognized how I'm feeling. And we've got this incredible internal guidance system. If we're feeling bad, it just means that our thoughts are focused on what we don't want. So manage your feelings by, if you feel that you're feeling bad, you're feeling off that day or that morning, it just, your internal guidance system telling you you're way off track. So what I try to do is I focus on my feelings. And if I'm feeling bad right away, within 10 seconds, I'll throw on some music. I'll get in another state to help me during that day to be in that high level state that you want to be all the time. So now let's talk about your habits. The great Jim Rohn talked about success is just simple disciplines repeated over time. So what I recommend all of you do, if you want your 2016 to be better than 2015 and start evolving into this high performance person, is you need to create these habits that allow you to get great results, to get you in a mindset that you're recruiting more people, showing the product more, as Dan says, his activity goals. So for example, with me, I'm going to just share some success habits that I've done over the years, and I'm consistently trying to improve this, is every morning I work out. I get my mind in a great mindset that allows me, obviously if you're working out, you're moving your body, you feel energized, you start your day off right. Second thing that I do is I'm always picking up something in the morning that I'm reading or I'm watching a video. I'll pick up a Bible, in the New Testament, I'll read some great verses. I'll pick up some great, I got my affirmations in front of me. I'll read them. These are just habits that I do every morning. The next habit that I do is I set my day And I spend 2 to 3 hours a day just for myself, and my personal recruiting, my personal showing the products, sharing the business. I rarely will take calls during that time, unless I've booked those times off. It's real important that you spend time for yourself. For those of you that are part time in the business and you want to grow it to a full time and more, what you want to do in your planner, you want to book times off, that this is the 2 hours that I have Monday night that I'm going to work NHT. This is the 1 hour I have Wednesday afternoon that I'm going to work at NHT. It's real important to keep that into your schedule. So if someone is calling you, trying to distract you, treat it like you're going to a part-time job, that you're going to be in front of a counter, for example. Set those times, and those are the times that you're not going to deviate from. Those are the times that you're going to work your NHT business. The other thing that I do is, like as Dan shares, is I set activity goals. How many people I'm going to talk to, how many new people I'm going to talk to during that day. As a leader, I understand the most respected leaders are the ones that lead by example. So I'm constantly bringing new people into the business. I understand that people are looking at me on a daily basis and say, Joe, what are you doing? How are you growing your business? Uh, so as a leader, we've got to constantly bring new people into the business, show people that we're active and growing the business. Dan and I could have retired 5, 6, 7 years ago from NHT, but we continue doing the basics because we understand great leaders lead by example. The most respected leaders lead by example. The other habit that I have is when I get in front of a mirror, I'm stating my affirmations. I'm telling myself what I'm going to be doing that next half hour. I'm going to pick up a phone call. I'm going to say, this is going to be an incredible webinar. This is going to be an incredible call. I'm going to be sitting in front of someone one-on-one. I'm going to state my affirmations. This is going to be an incredible call, incredible one-on-one. I'm going to do an incredible presentation. The right people, the right time will listen to me and will get started with me. I jump on a plane. I'm going to go, thank you, God, for the safe flight. So I'm always intending what I want to accomplish in that next hour, the next 10 minutes, the next 5 minutes. When you get in the habit, and what I call the segment intending, when you get in the habit of intending your near future, it's amazing the energy that you have, amazing the results that you start to create. I remember a number of years ago having someone I was coaching, and she was telling me, Joe, how can I help people succeed when I haven't even reached my goals? So every time she got on the phone with someone, every time that she was presenting the business, this was in the back of her mind. She had a hard time recruiting new people into the business, even a hard time selling the product, because this was in the back of her mind. I'm not successful yet. How can I teach others become successful? So I started sharing with her, instead of saying that, what you want to do is just get on and just take my advice. When you're going to speak to someone, just tell yourself, this is going to be the most incredible call I'm going to have for that next half hour, that next 20 minutes. And I just started seeing major changes happening in her business just because of that one little piece of advice. The greatest habit that you can have in NHT and as a top performer is you've got to create more action, do a little bit more. So the other major habit that I have is personally develop. My goal every single day is to grow more, to develop more, to become more, have my conscious level get to the next level. And only way you're going to do that is, as Dan shared with you, is surround yourself with the right people. Second way is making sure what you put into between your ears are the things that will serve you, not help you become something less than who you are. So it's real important that you guard your mind, but also develop that mind. There's a great Bible verse that talks about, you plant great seeds, You water it every day, you pull the weeds out, and you're going to have a great harvest. And Jesus was talking about this great mind of ours that needs to be watered every single day. You need to take control of those weeds and pull them out, especially in today's environment when you with the internet, with the TV, with CNN, all this negative stuff that we're bombarded on a daily basis. We need to guard ourselves from that. Again, personal development, you hear me and Dan say this over and over again, will make or break you. This is what we are as a person. This is what you need to promote through your organization. It's critical that you get people to, for example, when they get started, have them read The Science of Getting Rich, which you can get on steamteam.ca and download it. I've got the ebook right, so you can download it. Get everybody on that. Study that book because it's the laws of the universe. So the last habit that I want to just share with you, real critical, is visualizing your goals. And obviously, you need to determine what you want, get it down to very major detail. And the best time to visualize your goal is just before you fall asleep. This is when you get into the REM sleep. This is when your subconscious mind is the most active. What you don't want to do is get a fight in with your spouse or watch news before you fall asleep, because when you fall asleep, the last things that you are putting into your mind is working in your subconscious mind the next 6, 7, 8 hours. So what you want to do is you want to go to bed, fall asleep, reading a book, and then visualizing, just before you're falling asleep, visualizing that you've already achieved your goal. You want to dream it. You want to feel that you've already achieved it. You want to get into the feelings. And if you do that every night before you fall asleep, what is happening is now you're programming your subconscious mind exactly what you want. And the universe will get you what you want when, as Dan shared with you, when you remove the distractions and you're focused on what you want. Believe me, it works. I've seen magic happen in my life over and over again by implementing these strategies, these habits that you want to implement on a daily basis. Not every other day, not once a week, not a part-time basis, not a hobby, every single day. The last thing I just want to share with you in this topic, and we're going to get into the most exciting part of this presentation, this webinar, is our announcement that Dana and I are going to share with you, is doing a little bit more than what you did last year. If you read half an hour a day last year, read 45 minutes a day. If you're connecting with one new person a day, connect with 2 people a day. If you're connecting with 2 or 3 people a week, connect with 4 or 5 people a week. If you were talking to your downline, your leaders once every other day, or connecting with them once every day, do it once a day. If you're showing the product only once or twice a day, do it 3 times a day. If you're showing the product 3 times a week, do it 4 or 5 times a week. If you're doing 1 presentation a week, do 2 presentations a week. When you do a little bit more and you connect with that in your daily plan, your weekly plan, your results will become more. You're going to have better results. If you find that you're working out once a week, do it twice a week. Just do a little bit more. And when you do a little bit more, great things start to happen in your life. You have better results. And this is what I've tried to do over and over again over the years. I look at what I did, what great things that I did, the positive habits that are serving me. I just do a little bit more and I get better results. So Dan, we've got an incredible promotion that we're going to launch here. I think this is the biggest promotion that you and I have ever launched. We're pouring tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars, possibly millions of dollars. That's where we would like to get to. Millions of dollars of money out of our pocket in this promotion. So, did you want to announce it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, thanks.
just
Thanks,
let me
Joe.
pull up the slide.
Okay.
Okay, how about
So
we do
again,
this? Why don't we show the video, or did you want to?
yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's show the video.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are announcing an incredible promotion. We're going to show the video, and then we'll go into the details.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Let me pull up the slide, Dan, for a sec.
Great. Great, Joe.
Okay, go ahead.
So for everyone, Joe and I, there's over the years we've looked at incentives and promotions as for our teams around the world, and what we have found is we wanted you to be a part of our lifestyle and our journey and the successes that you will experience. Just all of the joy that you'll experience through your successes in pursuit of what you want. Right now, in the plan, right when you qualify for Global Ambassador, you know where you're going. You're going to Hawaii. What Joe and I wanted to do is put together another incentive and promotion that's coming back from us. Nothing to do with NHT. It is us. And this is at Platinum Director, which is rank 8. And you to do, what we want you to experience is basically our lifestyle. Joe has a place down here in Florida as well. I literally live down here 6 months of the year. What you just saw in this video is where I live, down here in South Florida, just north of Miami Beach, South Beach, in a little beach town called Highland Beach. Google it. It is all part of Palm Beach County. It's just a wonderful, wonderful world and scene down here. But what Joe and I want to do is that if you qualify, once you qualify for rank 8 Platinum Director, we're going to pay for a business class flight for two. This is you and your significant other, whoever it might be, to no matter where you are in the world, if you're in the Far East or if you're in Eastern Europe, Western Europe, if you're if you're in Africa, if you're in India, if you're in South America, wherever you are in the world, if you're in North America, we're going to fly you in business class for two at a five-star resort hotel, spa hotel, with $5,000 cash spending money. You're going to be picked up by a private limo, and you'll be spending 5 nights and 6 days at this beautiful, gorgeous spa hotel, which is minutes from my place on the beach. And you'll be having champagne on the beach at my private beach club. And you will also get a personal private session with Joe and myself, whatever it takes. We'll spend a full day on it, a half a day, whatever it is, on a plan and full strategy to have you go global ambassador. And that started basically January 1. So, you know, this thing is unlimited. I mean, if we've got 10 people that qualify, yeah, like you said, we may end up spending several $100,000, maybe $1 million or $2 million on this, but that's okay. We want to see as many people as possible qualify for this and come down and experience what we experience down here in South Florida. And for a lot of you, when you just looked at that video, the topical view of the beach and the ocean, that is basically my front yard. And I walk along there 4 or 5 days a week, 6 months of the year, doing calls, doing three-ways, doing conference calls. And for a lot of you, you know, you've been on the phone with me when I'm making those calls. This is all part of our life, and it's all part of our lifestyle and our journey. So, you know, so many people have got these jobs, and they work in an office. You saw my commute, which is now the Pelicans and the Seagulls. 28, 29 years ago, it was in rush hour traffic back in Toronto, Canada. That has all changed, and we want to have that for you as well. So, Joey, I want to do everything we can. I know you do. We both do, to give back to our people, our leadership. I know for so many of them, you know, the great leadership we have around the world, we applauded you on the outset of this call. And there was a number that as well, we didn't bring up your names, but we're all thinking of you. We all appreciate everything that you've done over the last year. And for all of you, like the great Garth, who's been with us, he's been probably the longest standing leader and team member that we've got with us, and we appreciate everything Garth has done, right up to our teams that we've got here back in North America. So, Joe, we want to give back as best as we can and help everyone achieve all of their successes and all of their goals and their dreams that they have here with NHT. So, gang, there you go. We're excited about this promotion and incentive. This should be able to bring you down here to South Florida with me, and Joe will be joining you, you know, when you're down here as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun together. But Joey, I'm excited. I'm excited for 2016, and certainly excited about this incentive and promotion.
Yeah, definitely very excited about this. You know, and the last thing, Dan, that we want to just conclude with this webinar. Thanks very much for your participation, your energy. You're incredible. Happy New Year to all of you. And one of the greatest habits that you can incorporate into your business is work within the recognition plan. You know, so if you're starting the business, you haven't reached the rank 1, that's your first goal, is get to that rank 1. Your second goal is everyone that you introduce to the business and they're getting excited about the business, have them focus on getting to that first rank. You know, Dan, it's quite easy to get to the platinum director position if you just help people get to the first rank, you know, and get people focused on that first rank, because that's the power behind the recognition plan. If you just help people and incorporate into your daily strategy where you're just targeting that first rank and getting everyone to that first rank, then everything takes care of itself. And I'm excited about this platinum director position, this promotion. NHT Global in North America is going to be launching 2 new promotions. One is a Hong Kong convention like we have in Europe, in Eastern Europe, and Asia. And you'll be seeing that announcement here in the next couple of days. So, Dan, any more last minute thoughts?
No, I just, Joe, as you said, maybe just one last one. Thoughts will always determine what you want, but it's action that'll determine what you get. So, gang, know what you really want here with NHT, because you can literally have anything you want. We've been able to change so many lives around the world here with the opportunity, but it comes down to flat out work. You just got to take action on those simple habits, as Joe and I have shared with you here every day. Those little steps that you take every day will help you climb this incredible staircase to your dreams. So, Joe, it's going to be a great 2016. This will be the biggest year yet for NHT, and certainly the biggest year yet for all of our teams, their dreams, their families, all of them. This will be the best year yet.
Yeah.
So, great job, my friend. Thank you. I'm looking forward to 2016.
And then let's just plant the seed with everybody. And you're the best at this. Is understanding that we drive our business through events. And I know we have people all over the world here, and we just want to plant the seed. If you want your local market, you want to grow your business, you start locally, and then you think globally. And it's real important, as you know, Dan, is to start developing a local presence in your town. Start having weekly presentations, daily presentations, and then as you grow your business locally, Dan and I can really help you put together an event schedule so we can drive the business in your markets that you're doing the business. Right, Dan?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've got to, certainly do those little things every day within your business, but building to, your local presentations, local meetings that you have, but driving to the big event that you would have, ultimately in your area. We have, Joe, we're going to be having these big events. There's going to be some more talked about again that'll be coming out this week that NHT is putting on. We've announced the events and incentives that we have for Europe, Eastern Europe, the same thing for the most part of the Far East. And for North America, you're going to be getting a lot of that this week that's coming up. But yes, absolutely, Joe, the one-on-ones, the two-on-ones, the home presentations, the webinars that you've got, building that local presence that you have as you think globally about our business. And never before have we been able to reach the global markets like we have today because of our model, but because of technology and all the things that we talked about over the last several years that have driven our business. But they've talked about having diamonds in your own backyard, and that acre of diamonds is really just in your own backyard. So much of what you can build around the world is just literally within your own reach in your own backyard. So absolutely, Joe, the presentations in your own backyard are critical.
Great. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Let's make 2016 your best year ever. Dan and I are committed to helping you all achieve greatness, achieve your goals, achieve your dreams, help your family, whatever it is, Dan. And thanks for jumping on here today. God bless everyone. Happy New Year once again. And we just started, by the way, this last week, first week of qualification for this next quarter of the recognition plan. So again, if you haven't reached that first rank in the recognition plan, set a goal that you're going to do it 2 out of the 3 months in the first quarter of 2016, and that's going to be an incredible way to start the year. So Dan, thanks very much for jumping on. Good night, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning. Take care. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year, everybody.